Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point. But boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. Leading them out is the former first-rounder from all the way back in 2004 from Miami of Ohio, Ben Roethlisberger.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true #1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat them.
On second down, it's Bell. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. Oh, and now he bowls it over. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage there. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves. The chains. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Time to look at the defensive starters for Cleveland. This unit, 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
Numbers don't tell you everything, but they do paint a pretty good picture. We're talking about 2 top 5 units going at each other. One in running the ball, one in stopping the run. I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun myself.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. And a look at Bell, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be incomplete. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well. But that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out. Finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them. And we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
On 3rd and 1, it's Roethlisberger. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, of course, you want to find the end zone, but, you know, you go on the road, you get 3 points. I think you take it.
Yeah, pretty good start to the day for them, don't you think? Right? You go out there, get the 3 points. Now, look, it's not going to silence this crowd, but they'll take a little bit of steam out of them right off the top.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. It's Baker Mayfield leading him out. He's the man tasked with being the savior of this franchise, the #1 overall pick from Oklahoma.
And he made both sides happy last week, didn't he?
Yeah, 3 and 3.
I mean, his guys, they caught 3 touchdown passes, but he threw 3 interceptions. Got to get off of that schneid and get back to just throwing touchdown passes and taking care of the ball better.
first carry for Nick Chubb. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
No. Check. Patriots, go. Patriots.
And again, it's Chubb. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs.
All right, here we go. Now look at these. 39, 56, 39. Gone.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He's got his man. That's Landry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
It's big Vince Williams who made the tackle. We take a glance now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh. Against the pass, they've had some issues, ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. And he'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Here we go now.
2nd down, Mayfield. Flush to his right. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down.
Detroit! Here we go now.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance. but rejected by the bar. And this score will stay right where it is. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
On the carry, this is center. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got a decision to make here on 4th down and 2. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
All right, here we go.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And it's 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Mayfield. Going back to Landry. This time he's got him complete. Well, that'll get him the 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
try to throw here. Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
A give. This is Chubb. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment.
Now let's go.
Now Mayfield. Does this to his running back, Chubb. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve.
Here we go.
They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep left side. And it's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. In for the score. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Set. 3:19. 3:19.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
So we get slap happy up here sometimes. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
Set. 3:19. 3:19.
Working out of the gun. Mayfield into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. On second down, Roethlisberger. And a big loss here as he's taken down. On after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Steelers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be third and a mile.
Here we go now. 3:19.
They'll run here with Zenner. And down he'll go at the 25. Here's Jordan Berry now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 16. Able to slither by. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, like I said, he's looked pretty good to this point.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
On the run, it's Zenner. And that gets him a little room as he'll take this up over the 10-yard line. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They go again now with Zenner. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll run. This is Zenner. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say not get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little, kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Mayfield looks to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. T.J. Watt coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 16. Third and long for Mayfield. He's going to wind up and air it out. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards. Stop them.
Oh, this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And now running right through it. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Mayfield now from the 50. That's Njoku over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game.
Green 39! Green 39!
They go play action here on first down. And his throw here is incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Carlos Hyde in the game. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Set! 3-19! Detroit! 3-19! Detroit! Detroit!
To throw, Mayfield. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. If you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The Browns on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Gone! Blue landed!
Throwing, Mayfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off inside the 10. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Rudolph now to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. This one complete, right side to McDonald. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. The Browns on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 9.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Mayfield going for the deep ball. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drive.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. They could get it done, but guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever.
Here we go. 3-19.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 3rd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long.
All right, here we go. Blue, land it.
3rd and long. It's Rudolph. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the 1st.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
first kick 47. This one looks good as well. This will be fielded at the 17. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Here's Mayfield. He's going to look deep now for Landry. And that's caught inside the 30. And give him a gain of 37. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
They pitch it to Chubb, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Browns on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 15.
Now let's go.
Mayfield to throw it. And this is caught. He hits Landry. And he gets us with all the way down inside the 15, just shy of a 10. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And they'll run it here. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. And now, Charles, what do? You want to create some space here for your punter if you have to punt.
I think maybe you just go quarterback sneak and try and create that space and hope your punter can help you out.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Defense does their job here, and now for the punter and the special teams unit, a nightmare. You're snapping from your own 1-yard line.
And that job they did, no leverage for the offense. They got underneath, held their ground, so now they're trying to punt it away. If you're the punter, what's the first thing? don't step out the back of the end zone because then you give up a safety.
Yeah, you got to remember to catch the football first, though.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That does come into play, doesn't it?
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage.
Well, look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
All right, here we go.
On 2nd and 10, Rudolph. And McDonald here over the middle. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense.
So the crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start.
All right, here we go.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. He'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. He was looking to get it to Zach Zenner that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He's back to throw. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
4th down, desperation time for Rudolph. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Browns defense stands tall. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Right back to him on first down. A pretty decent gain on the tough run before he's brought down at the 25. And the Steelers signal for another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They go with Chubb on second down, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. First down, run with high, and they'll get him down right about the 20. Again, it's high. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Cleveland, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it'll be loss number 6 on the season for them. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.